Hello my lovelies, it's been a long time since our last cleaning video, so I thought today it's time to do some succulent cleaning. The very first one I'm gonna be cleaning is this big pot here, which is what I call the main event. This is the highlight of this cleaning video because this pot here has got a lot of weeds that has grown in it. So this is grown outdoors, and also there's a lot of plants underneath that are sort of growing hidden from the sunlight because of the other plants that has grown much faster than the other one. So we need to pull out a lot of these small ones here and that one there. So there's a few of them, and also that one is being crowded by the 2 or 3 monstrous agavoides that has grown around it. So that is Morticia, and Morticia's already got a baby, and we need to pull that out so it can grow better and also repot it. And in here I got a champagne that's already been crowded out by these other plants here. Even this sort of slightly bigger Romeo, this is also being overcrowded. So let's do that first, and also I'm gonna see if we have time to do these other ones here. So this one is basically a cleanup and also a reset, because some of the plants that was at the back here has already gone, died, passed away, however you want to call it, and the rest is growing nicely, despite the fact that it's got a lot of moss, which makes it so pretty. I do like having moss growing with the succulent, and that's just an indication that there is a lot of presence of water, but yet the succulents are growing happily. Also this Haworthia and needs to be cleaned up. This is quite quick, but I just want to show you what it looks like sort of before and after. And also a lot of the plants here, I will be doing a separate cleaning up ASMR video because of the dry leaves, and that one is desperately in need of cleaning up and also topping up. So I might yet still be able to show you that one. So let us begin. Hello there, my name is Liz, a self-confessed succulent addict. Welcome to my channel, Growing Succulents. So in my past few videos, I have shown that I have a garden, or I am keeping a garden somewhere in Victoria. So first of all, for those of you who doesn't know, I live in Canberra, Australia, where it is a very, very cold place. Not as cold as some, but cold enough that some of my succulents are having a difficult time growing. Before I get to the reason why I was in Victoria or keeping a garden in Victoria, which is another state in Australia, I would first like to tell you a little bit of history for those who haven't seen my videos. So over 2 years ago now, my husband passed away, and so I don't really know where I want to go, whether I stay here in Canberra or move somewhere else a little bit warmer. So my children are all, well, have moved away from Canberra. They're living somewhere else in another state, in another country. And so I'm really basically alone here in Canberra. So apart from my relatives, I still have a brother and a sister who lives here. There's really no reason for me to stay in Canberra. So when my husband was still alive, we often talk about what I'm going to do when he passed away. He was given 3 years to live, and he survived 15 years. Okay, hang on, this is a little bit hard to get here because this is oxalis. Okay, I need to dig into here. So we often talk about what I'm going to do when he passes, and he knows that I always wanted to live in a farm. So I'm not really a city girl. So I told him that when he goes, I will also go somewhere where I can have a little bit of land and also plant my own vegetable garden and fruit, and basically somewhere papaya. That's what the joke that we had back then. So somewhere sort of semi-tropical, because I do love the cold and I can't stand the tropical humidity as well. I get really, really hot. So somewhere that's hot and sweaty, humid, I can't really stand. So I want to move somewhere cold where it's also not too hot. And that's quite a hard place to find here in Australia. So I thought, for those of you, my lovelies, who doesn't know, that apart from being a succulent addict, I am also an avid prospector. I love looking for gold and gemstones here in Australia. By the way, I also have a channel called Lizk. So if you'd like to check out the link below this video, that channel, I show how to find gold and gemstones. Basically, I show my adventures and also some jewelry making, and just check it out and to see what I do there. But anyway, so am I making headway here? It looks like I'm not even making a dent on this one. So when hubby was still alive, before he passed, I said to him, I'm going to continue prospecting and also look for a place where I can grow fruit and vegetables, well, basically self-sufficient. When he passed, I continued to go prospecting. And of course, I went prospecting with some people or friends. And one of those friends that I went prospecting with happens to have his house on the market for sale, which is situated in Kundruk, Victoria. And about a year after hubby passed away, I was already looking for somewhere where I can move to. And there was one place I would like to move to, but that recorded or called this temperature last year in 2025. And also there was a house there for sale, but it's a little bit too big because the property was about 10 acres, but the property has everything I wanted. So anyway, so I said, I hope that house or that property doesn't get sold off, because I would like to first, of course, sell my house here so I can afford to buy that property, or else I have to find somewhere else. Anyway, the reason why I love that place is because there's close to a lot of prospecting locations for gemstones. So now, okay, let's go over here now. So that way, that area is sort of clearish. Now let's go here. And so anyway, so this prospecting friend of mine who lives in Kundruk, Victoria, told me that he's got his house on the market. And when I look it up online, oh my God, I've fallen in love with the place. And so anyway, I was sort of kind of hoping that, oh, I could have a look. And maybe if I like the place, I hope it doesn't sell. But anyway, but I can't buy the property or place because I still have to sell my house in Canberra, of course. So anyway, so he had it on the market for a few months now, and it hasn't sold yet. But before that, when he just had it on the market, I said to him, would there be any chance that I could go and have a look at the place? And the first question I asked is, what is the weather like in Kundruk, Victoria? And I found out that it's actually got everything that I was hoping for, or a place where I was looking for, basically. So the temperature, it gets cold, but it doesn't get as cold as Canberra. And it can grow some tropical plants in the area. For one, it's got this bougainvillea, which is growing so beautifully. And of course, I have grown bougainvillea a few times here in Canberra before, but sadly, I kept killing them. And so this friend of mine and I was planning to go on a prospecting trip. And so he said to me, if you like, you can come and stay at my place for a few weeks to see how the house feels, and if that's what I was looking for, or basically get to know the area. And so that's the reason why I brought some of my plants over there, just to see how they will survive the frost, or basically just to see, to get the feel for the place, really. And he happens to have this beautiful cat named Lucy, and Lucy straight away has taken on to me. I said to him, if ever you wanna make your will, could you please put Lucy on your will when you pass away, just in case, you know, if you have no one to look after her. I would gladly look after her, but anyway. So now the long story short now is that I had a chance to go there and experience living there, and it's actually a beautiful place. And there's hardly, it's still sort of close to the city, and yet it's still also sort of rural. So that's what I like of the place. And of course, best thing of all is that the weather. So I really like the weather in Kundruk, Victoria. And now he's got someone looking at the place that's sort of shown interest in buying the property. So I don't know, I wish that it wouldn't sell, but if it does sell, then I always believe that que sera sera, what will be, and that place is not intended for me. So there you go, my lovelies, that's the story of Victoria. So I am basically in search of a place to call home. So for the meantime, I'm staying here in Canberra until I get my house sorted out and put it in the market to sell. And that will still take another couple years before that will happen. So for now, we are just going to be cleaning succulents. And also I get to show you how the succulents now will continue to grow here in Canberra. I have now decided to sort of dedicate full time in looking after them. I'm not going to be prospecting for a while, for a few months anyway, whereas before I regularly go prospecting. So maybe I'll take a weekend here and there, that's about it, but most of the time I will be here to look after my babies. So now it's sort of looking a little bit better, but still got a long way to go. So I'm just gonna get on with it and clean this up. This one's a little bit difficult because it's nice and tight. It's not nice and tight, it's tight because this pain rose is being a pain in the butt. Sorry, I don't mean you, but the situation here. And also there's another plant here on the side, which is a red champagne. I don't think that's a red champagne. Maybe it's a pain rose as well. So I think my red champagne is gone. But this one now, I don't really want to pull this out, but I don't have a choice. So I need to remove that one there. Okay. Okay, that's beautiful. So now, is that also pain rose? I don't know. This is another plant, obviously. So I'll just put this here away for now. You can go here and pain rose label, and I'm just gonna say red champagne. Maybe I've got the red champagne still here. Hang on, what is this one? This is not red champagne, that's black rose. Okay, so that one's black rose. Maybe I could still leave that there. And then this one, there's two plants, Romeo and Juliet. No, it's not. Black Queen, Maleficent. Maleficent is basically here, and Romeo is this one. And maybe I had another Romeo that died, because this one is actually Bloody Romeo. So Bloody Romeo, we leave you here. This one is Psyche, and that one Romeo gone. Red Champagne, where are you? Gone probably, and Pain Rose. So that one, yes, so Pain Rose will stay the label there. Okay, so we continue cleaning up. I'm just feeling my way through here. Okay, the oxalis, they actually sort of this is like open heart surgery, isn't it? Okay, I can remove the leaves, that is, but underneath that there's a story. Hang on, that's it. Okay, come on baby, come, a little pretty one. Okay, just need to empty this. This is a very, very messy operation. Ugh. When they're still small, it's best to remove them because when they get bigger, this is what happens. They tend to mat, and underneath you have to really find, hang on, I'll take the label off because I sort of know the ID of the plant. Look, roots and all. Well, it broke off a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Oh, look at that. I love it when I pull it, and it's so satisfying when everything comes off. I can really feel the roots coming away, and that is such a satisfying feeling. Nothing more than feelings. Okay, now leaves, and also here, you can't rush this. You have to do it slowly, or else I'm gonna damage the plants. Okay, now Romeo, I'm sorry, you have to go, okay? I have to pull you out because that's really nice and big. I want to leave it there, that pain rose, and this Romeo here. Okay, okay, there, put it aside. Can you see it? Oh, hang on, I'll move this pot so that way you can see that, whoopsie, that I haven't chucked them away. It's just on the side here. So now I'm feeling my way to, I forgot to put some gloves on. Someone asked me before why I'm wearing gloves. It's because, the reason why is because it's really hard on my fingers, and my fingers gets really, really rough, and the skin gets really, really hard, and then they crack, and then it's painful. So, and then I can't do gardening for a few days or do anything, prospecting or anything like that. So that's why I wear gloves. Now, I'm not wearing gloves. I am going to Safa, and I, never mind. I should really put some gloves on. So in here, if you want to make sure that the roots are gone, of the oxalis that is, of course you twirl it, and then there. And then another one here. Okay, yeah. So happy. It feels good when you pull the roots and all, because it feels like you're pulling teeth. Ah, look, there's a little baby champagne that's growing there. And what do? So this is redwood champagne. $45 I paid for this one plant. I don't know whether it's one or two then, but this one now needs to go as well. I'm sorry, but I have to pull you out. And okay, there you go. Oh, not supposed to be doing this in winter, but springtime is the best time to do this. But since I really, really want to do this, then I go ahead and do it, don't I? So don't let anything stop you from doing anything you want to do. But of course, with your actions, there's consequences. So be prepared for the consequences. So this one now, I'm cleaning up underneath. Look, there's some mushy leaves in there. Mushy, mushy. And I'm gonna get my other tweezer and pull that off. No crunchy leaves because, as I told you, it's mushy, mushy. Okay. Is that good enough? Yeah. That's good enough. I don't want to stab it. And this other plant, I don't know what that is, but obviously that's been grown from a leaf or something. Okay, but so I'm gonna leave it there next to it, that little one. Okay. So you are rosewood champagne. Okay, dokes. So now I can put that back in there. And in here, see that? Another weed. And the next customer we're gonna have, I would say victim. No, you're not a victim, okay? We just say customer. Is this Morticia. Morticia. I'm gonna do from the other side. You see that? I just went wackadoodle there, and of course we're gonna flick it. Ah, okay. And from this moment, I still got all the roots intact and everything. I could clean up the back of it because that's really nasty. Oh, it's yucky. But what can I do when you are far away and I can't help it? I have to pull you out. Ah, there you go. I haven't seen anything lighter yet, so that means, oh, there's a little bit there showing. That's the stem or the trunk of the plant. There you go. It's being covered by rotting leaves. The rotting leaves on my Morticia we have to take. I am silly. If you don't know me by now, then you will never know me. Because I am a silly. I like to entertain myself. Let me entertain you, okay? Because let me make you smile. Okay, like that. I would really like to sing, but I can't sing a full song because I'm gonna hit with copyright. So, I can only do snippets, sampling is what it's called. You can do sample, but you can't sing a full verse or whatever, something like that. So anyway. Okay, that is good enough. Now I'm just gonna repot my Morticia. Now we're just gonna leave this pot here and we're gonna go to the side here where we are going to repot the Morticia. So the pot I'm using has already got holes in it, and I'll put some lava rocks in the bottom for drainage, and of course I'm gonna use my Master Succulent Soil mix here just to fill up the bottom, and of course Letitia is gonna go in here. And do we show off your face this way or sideways, or that one? I think sideways would be good, isn't it? So just swirl this around. I don't really want to touch the roots or damage the roots. That looks better, I think, the other way. I don't know. Okay, we'll turn it around again. I can't make up my mind. I think that looks better. And eventually it will hopefully turn around. But anywho, top it up with soil. And I'm making a lot of mess here, but it doesn't matter. So I'm planting this sideways because my plan is that eventually when it warms up a little bit in spring and this grows up a little bit, I am going to take off the baby, and then the mommy can sort of, the main plant can go this way and get put right basically. So but there's still a little bit of dry leaf in there, so I have to remove that. Anyway, there you go. So just put a little bit of top dressing and she be right. There you go. Look at the small one, the baby one looks like it's going variegated. Yep, I think so too. Look, there's more, like, hopefully that will variegate. But anyway, it's such a slow growing plant that it doesn't matter if it's planted in a small pot, because it's going to take a while before this will grow. So I've had this plant for about 3 years now, and when I got it, I paid, I think, $50 for the mother plant, and of course the baby took about 3 years to grow. So anyway, oops, that's it, I'm losing my balls. There you go. So we got one Morticia potted up. Okay, we continue with the big pot, the main event. So now this main event is sort of cleaned up to my liking, but this one here, I think the black rose or black queen, Maleficent, I need to remove this as well because it's just gonna get crowded out. Okay, ooh, okay, oopsie daisy. Okay, put you away, and I have to repot you as well. But this one's now, this is a prolifica, and that's an Anacampseros in here. So I'm gonna leave that there, and these ones, I need to lift this up and top up the soil. So Psyche here, you can go there, and then Bloody Romeo, I need to separate them though. So, ooh, and then that way I can get rid of the weeds that's hiding underneath, and also remove some of the dry leaves. Which is not crunchy. I don't like it when they're not crunchy, but nothing I can do about it because even last night we had rain, and before that we had 3 days of frost. Nothing I can do about the crunchiness. I can wish and hope, but unfortunately that's just the way the story goes. Now this one now separated, and I'm slowly gonna walk this across on the other side here. There you go. And in between, I'm lifting it up, as you can see, and I'm gonna top it up with soil, but I'll put it in the gap in between there. And so now the other side, we're gonna do the same. We're gonna lift it up and move it to the left. So now creating a gap in between. They have now drifted apart. Okay, so I like it better like that, so that way they can grow happily. And in the center where I got the Morticia, big hollow gap there, so I'm topping it up, putting some soil in there. Okie dokes. Now the pain rose, I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna be lifting it up and topping it up with my Master Succulent Soil Mix. And to the rest of the area here, I'm gonna do the same. And that black rose is getting too close for comfort over there. Pain rose, you can go here. So I might have to sort of pull you over here and put some soil there, And then that way they can have totally separated. There you go. Excellent. Now this one, just a little bit more tweaking, and then I will be done. There you go. So that's all nicely topped up with soil. So I've got a big gap here, and what I want to do is put back the other one that I removed. Okay, that small one, which I wasn't sure what this is, but it looks like a pain rose as well. So pain rose, pan rose, I think they're one and the same plant. And of course, a little bit of tidying up. Doesn't hurt anyone, even this plant, as long as I don't stab it. Because if I do, that will be disastrous, because it has a high chance of dying. So take that off. So now, there you go. Okay, that's clean enough. Now, I lost my tweezer, and I found my tweezer. So we plant this in. Upsy daisy. Go, baby, go. Okay, dokes. Done. You didn't even feel that, didn't you? There you go. Okay, so now all I need to do is put some top dressings on it, so which I'm putting some of these lava rocks all around, just to separate it from the soil so it wouldn't rot. There you go. Just stick it right underneath, so that way air can circulate as well. And up the top here, I think I saw a little bit of mealybug. I don't know if you can see that, but there's some white bit there. So I just use some barbecue stick. Yep. There's mealybug, and gone. But just so the little ones doesn't continue, spray it with my methyl solution. It's only one spot. That's because the flowers are coming out, and that's the reason why the mealybug shows up as well. So now this is all done, so I can put this away, and so all the plants that are here will have room to grow. So by next year, hopefully this will grow up, and that will thicken up and fill up this whole space. Now let's move on to the next one. Also, I forgot the Maleficent. I already potted it up as well, so now she can grow on her own. But this one, I am not going to water this for a while. I'll let nature take its course. So I'll put it outside still, but she's not going to be watered for a long while. And will only be dependent on the dew and also the rain. So now on to the next customer. So this one is pretty straightforward. It's just a matter of cleaning it up. And of course, some plants have died in the past, so that is Echeveria Golden Fire is gone. So what I want to do is just pull out all these weeds here, and then of course we're gonna do some shushing around. That means lifting and cultivating, and of course removing weeds first. That's quite small, but anyway, so it's better if they are smaller like this, because it doesn't affect the soil structure. And when you have big weeds, the roots goes all over the place, and sometimes you pull it off and then they still come back. But the smaller ones tend to be much better, of course, when you get them while they're still young. They're still impressionable when they're young, and can easily be swayed to not come back. Okay, now this one now, Hang on, a couple more. Oops, that's it. Okay. I don't think that's gonna come back again. This one will, so have to take that one off. Okay, do I talk too much? I think I do. Because I can't help but hang on, we got there you go, fungus gnats. I just killed one. Okay, now on the side here, actually I like people who talk aloud, because you know why? You know that they're not thinking of anything bad. Because, oh, this is Red Angel, I'm not too sure, but this is a Red Angel. And they are angels when they're talking aloud, because at least you can hear what's going on in their mind. The quiet ones are the ones you gotta watch out for, because you don't know what's spinning around in their head. Now, okay, this one, Love Thorn. Love Thorn. Okay, now this one, we're gonna remove some leaves in the bottom, which is so exciting. Why exciting? Because we are going to get to listen to some crunchiness. I'm even gonna shut up and just let you listen to the crunchy bits, okay? I was hoping that it's much crunchier, but unfortunately it's not. So I think I just better continue talking, ain't I? So, anywho, so this one is called Echeveria Matador. Matador has grown beautifully. Look at that, look at the color. Gorgeous, isn't it? I just need to get underneath here and pull out those not so crunchy leaves. See, not really that crunchy, which is sad because they've been wet for a while, being outside. Okay, so that's too easy, nice and clean. And so you can see that matador is sort of going down. And I want to be able to basically lift it up like that, so it can show its pretty face. And they're all facing this way because that's following the sun. So what I'm going to do with this one now is prop it up with the rock. And what better rock to use than a petrified wood that's 350 million years old. Okay, so there you go. Ooh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Ah. And also we can also see the rock. And also you got another rock here, so they're all rocking together. Now on this area here, I still found, sorry, this one, there's still a little bit of mushy leaves. And so this one is vacant. And I could put a piece of rock, something bigger, to make it actually really, really pretty. Like say for example, a bigger version of a crystal or something like that, and that would make it look very, very, very good, but I'm not going to do that. What I want to do is put another plant. So this is Echeveria Shine, which is just so pretty, and it's been growing in this pot for a long time, and I actually grew this from a leaf. So now this needs to be planted somewhere because I don't know how big it's going to grow. So I'm going to put it in here, and that way it can make it shine. And also this is sort of a different tone from the rest of the gang. So I am just going to twist or tease, not twist. Well, I'm also twisting it, but also teasing it. The area here, just slightly bigger than the plant here, and I think that should be enough. And I'm just lifting this up, and of course there's a couple of dry leaves in there, and that's just about it. Just one up the top, but do I want to remove that? There you go. Tiny bit left. Now hopefully she'll grow pretty, and there's some roots in the bottom there, so it's just gonna merge into the soil, I'm sure. So now, there you go. Isn't that gorgeous? This one is now done, and all I have to do is put a label on that one so I don't forget, and do a little bit of cleaning on this Red Angel. So I can't remember the name, but anyway, so I don't know whether that's Red Angel or something else, but the label says Red Angel, so I'm gonna take it as Red Angel because it's not very red, isn't it? Sadly, the leaves are not crunchy at all, but I hope you get satisfaction just watching cleaning up succulents. Oh, I thought I pulled out a leaf, sorry. Okay, now on this side. I don't think this is a very exciting cleaning video, but it doesn't matter. It's quite satisfying for me, so I hope you get to feel the relaxation that I feel with this one. Okay. Pointy tweezer. I don't like using pointy tweezer, but this one actually gets or has a better hold than the other tweezers that I've got. The best is the forceps, which is this one, but I can't really feel sometimes, and I tend to pull more than I should, like the stem of a plant or something. Whereas with the pointy one, I seem to be more precise with it. But also I have a chance of stabbing the leaves, which is what I don't like. Okay, so that's it. I'll just continue for the final touches, and then of course it is done. So now that is done, cleaning up. Now I am quite happy with the way this looks, but as you notice, there's a lot of moss in it. Hang on. Okay, I have a little bit of animosity here because there's still some leaves on top here. But anywho, around this area now, it's all nice and clean and nice mossy growing in between. And this area that where I planted the shine, it's not as cohesive as the other one. So I thought, I'm gonna get some moss. I'm gonna get some moss and then plant it into here. Oops, okay, that's okay. Now, what we're gonna do is stab the moss down to the bottom, of course, of where the roots is, and we're gonna plant it. Look at that. Ah, I'm planting moss. Can't believe I'm planting moss onto succulents. But, as you can see, they actually look well together. Okay, dokes. There you go. Probably the lower moss is better, but anywho, I'm actually liking the look of this. You see that? So, very pretty. There you go. That's good enough for now, and I'm sure the moss will still continue to grow and fill up this area. Okay, you happy with that? Because I am. Okay, very, 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 very pretty. I love the Haworthia because there's hardly any dry leaves that I need to clean up or clean off. The only thing is this one has grown some weeds, and which is quite easily removed by pulling, and now it has exposed some dry leaves in the bottom here. So with this one, do I worry about cleaning it up? Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't, because this one I can see it, but otherwise I can leave it on its own and just remove the weeds. Yep, roots and all. Come here, my little one. Come to mama. Okay. Is there more? Yes, I got it all. I got it all. So there's no more little roots in there. Okay, that one I might as well remove that because it's dry leaves, because it's ruining, hang on, the look of this Haworthia. Okay. Too easy. Okay, I'll remove the label and put it at the back here. What is your name? Retusa mutica. There you go. And I have to write on it again because that other side is gone. There you go. So now, this other one here, I'll just put that one there. This one is just as easy or simple as removing all the dry maple leaves that has gathered on top of it. And of course, you can see that this one also needs to be cleaned up. But cleaning it up is not as exciting because this actually is quite delicate. So this one, I need full concentration and I can't talk or else I'm going to be stabbing a lot of these babies. But the big one here, okay, this one is, or the biggest one of here, Lotus. Monstrous, oh my goodness, $25 is what I paid for this. Can you believe that? Anyway, those were the days, my friend, when I was going through grief and worrying, because at the time when I bought this, my husband was still alive, or Wal was still alive, and I was very, very, very stressed, and the only relief I get is when I buy succulents, because every time I buy succulents I feel guilty that I bought succulents, and so that stops me from worrying and making my head go all over the place. Because at the time, since hubby was diagnosed with cancer, I had planned his funeral every day in my head, because he was given only 3 years to live initially, and so he lasted 15 years. And he said that he doesn't want to leave me alone because he doesn't know what mischief I'm going to get into. No, I'm just kidding. He never said that. But anyway, so he lasted 15 years. And so those times while I was looking after him, I'm just so stressed. And of course, when you're stressed, you need an outlet. And buying succulent was an outlet for me. So this is part of the group that I bought while I was stressed and no sleep, and my hair was falling out and everything. And so I thought, every time I buy succulents, I feel guilty and my hair seems to stop falling out. So that's my story anyway. So this one now, there's a lot of small ones. I'm really afraid to clean this up because they're so delicate. Normally when I clean this, I do it in the quiet. And also I use the back of the tweezer, like so. And just let it drop, and then I pick them up one by one, or actually use a blower, but it goes all over the place. So that's why I said with small succulents like this, it's more difficult to clean up because they're very fiddly. And a lot of times, if you're talking, they break or get stabbed, and then I kill them. Okay. Oops. So if you just blow it like this, they come off easier. So I have to put my hand just so it doesn't get into the camera. Now, I got a little bit more, sorry. I got a little bit more in here. This one's got some solid, nasty, hard, dry leaves underneath, or bigger anyway. But this poor puppy has got to go somewhere here. Okay, puppy dog. Okay, now this one, you see that? That is not very good. Hang on. Look. But not crunchy as well. So, which is so boring. I wish you're crunchier. Okay. Weed. It is quite a pretty plant, isn't it? But anywho. Okay. So anyway, guys, as I sort of do some tidying up in here, I'm not doing anything on this one. I'm going to leave it as is. I'm just mainly removing the dry leaves. And of course, with Echeveria, these plants can't be propagated at the moment because it's winter. So I will do some propagation video when the right time comes. This is at the end of winter, is the best time to take some cuttings for propagation. The leaves that I removed earlier from my love thorn or something angel, I think it was, that one's not good. So a couple of them, that one is actually dry. That's already just going to die. This one might still have a chance of growing, so I'm going to put this next to Red Angel. Hopefully that will grow, which is okay over there. But this one now is just a matter of removing these leaves that I've taken off. So anyway, guys, that's all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this sort of a little bit boring, but at least I get to tell you a story about the situation with Victoria. Because people are assuming that I've already moved, and I haven't moved. So I'm still in Canberra. I'm still going to be here for the next probably couple of years, because I still have waiting surgery for my shoulder. I'm on the waiting list, and so I don't know when that's going to happen. And of course, after I have my surgery, I can't really do much. I have to recuperate first, and then I can start working on the house. And when I work on the house, of course, I'm thinking maybe 6 months after the surgery, that is, then I can maybe think about putting the house in the market and selling it. So anyway, guys, thank you so much once again, and hope you have a lovely, lovely day, and I'll catch you on the next video. Okay, that's done. And before I go, I'll show you the potted Romeo that I removed from my main event pot. I'll just put it here. And the champagne, I already put it in a terracotta pot, because I find that having a terracotta pot, Echeveria champagne tends to grow better. And of course, you've seen the Morticia here, and also Maleficent or Black Queen. Anyway, guys, that's all. Thank you once again, and catch you on the next video. Okay, doke, it's dinner time. I'm starving. Now you're going outside, babies.